Listed as grave disorder. Now it's listed as like a misinterpretation of an order. You see, there's a gentle shifting of that because moral relativism says there's no absolute truth. There's no absolute moral truth. So things can change with the culture. Okay? These things happen because tolerance, like I said, is the great virtue. It's the absolute highest thing, is to be tolerant of other people. And so the argument, and now this was put forth in the 500s, okay? This is not a new theory. This is from the Greeks had it already. But it kind of died off, and nobody took it seriously until about the 1900s. And then the 1800s and 1900s, when we started discovering other cultures. And then we started saying, well, you're not right to say, oh, those dirty pagans from whatever country, yeah. Now, here's the thing. Once that became a thing, it started catching traction. I'll get to the dirty pagans thing in a minute. I promise I'm not saying they're all dirty pagans. Okay? I was one of them, technically. So, but it is saying that... Yep. Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
Can you guys hear me in the back? What's that great? Can you hear me in the back?
I think it's the red one.
I'm mad as hell. Oh, really? Like, really might be. Okay, I thought you were just saying, like, put it near me. Okay. Well, thank you.
You have all that great gear, you can hide it.
Yeah, I know. Actually, listen, I have the treats. I've slipped it under.
Can you guys hear him?
Good for stealing, you know? Better?
We good?
Is that in English or French?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've written it. Yeah, you know.
Okay, so we were in the Greeks 500.
Okay, no, yeah. That it caught traction as a philosophy when we started really looking at other cultures for the first time, really becoming a planet. You know, we were going around the world and looking at other cultures because instinctively you're going to not be okay with some things other people do. That's normal. But when you start being mean about it and say, well, they're filthy and we have to change them, that's when it became a problem. And so for the sake of that tolerance, we began to say, well then, maybe it's not necessarily wrong. It depends on each culture. It depends on their decision. And that began to gain traction. Now you think, okay, but I don't think that way. Be careful. You've heard this from politicians. You've heard this from community leaders. You've heard this, I hope not, from priests. You've heard it for religious. I hope not. But you've heard it certainly from your friends. Some of us might believe this, right? I think abortion is wrong, but I don't want to get involved in somebody's personal life. That's their life, and, you know, I'm not in their shoes. Or I think contraception is wrong, but, you know, depending on the situation, they have to do what they have to do. Or I don't think same-sex marriage is appropriate, but I mean, if people want to do it as long as they're not bothering other people, there's that thing you mentioned before, I guess it's okay. Or there's a few. I think, you know, there's different ways of doing it. The thing is all of those are smaller, but nonetheless very clear forms of moral relativism. It's relative to their life. In other words, what's right or wrong, really, you know what, I'm not in their shoes. That's a big one, right? If you want to go television shows, Breaking Bad is probably the most famous example of modern moral relativism. You realize he's a drug-dealing, drug-making bad man, right? But you cheer for him because you say, well, he had no insurance to cover his cancer, so, you know, you gotta understand. Like, look, I don't have a problem with the show as a show. Fine, whatever. I mean, I never watched it, but the principle of it, I get it. It's meant to be weird, but it's very easy for that to slip into it, right? We now love the anti-hero, right? In our superhero movies, our heroes are not what they used to be, where they were clean. They're a little bit jerks. Now, yeah, I was going to say, now, I don't mean you're alcoholic Iron Man. That's bad, but I mean, for example, the constant amount of genuine violence and evil that Batman does in the last 3 movies. And I like the guy. I love those movies. But Batman says it's wrong to let, you know, Ra's al Ghul die, right? Remember the fire and he saves him? Because, you know, you shouldn't do that. But in the exact same movie, it's totally okay to let him die at the end. When he's like, you don't have to save him. He's like, I don't want to save you. I don't want to kill you, but I don't have to save you. And then escapes. It's precisely the same situation. But it's okay. You see, now, I don't have a problem with those movies, but I'm trying to show you how it's actually a lot more pervasive in our culture than we don't always assume. I mean, it's part of it. Our heroes are now all kind of moral relativists, or producing. Actually, there's articles on saying why moral relativism is ruining our superhero movies. There's an article out there. Because what they're proposing is, by making all of them like, make one or two is cool, making all of them that way, don't give us anyone to really look up to. The whole point is that they should be different from us, not the same, you know. That realism in movies that we have now we're gonna stop it. We're gonna start moving in another direction, I think. But that moral relativism is there. Oh, look at that. Jesus? I'm ready. I'm ready, Lord, I'm ready.